Think about collecting those experiences, because that's really what it's all about.
I'm with you. So, do I believe it should have some tangible things? Absolutely. Experiences, yes. And here's another area. And it took me, as a practitioner, working with my coach to realize something I didn't have. So, 11 years ago, when my ex walked out, I didn't have any feelings things on my list. How I wanted to feel. How I wanted to think. How I wanted to react to things. So that was a step even different than that. That's helped me immensely. You know how you get up in the morning and say, I'm just not a morning person, blah, 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 blah. As if there's a morning person gene. There isn't. You know? So that would be a dream. I pop up in the morning like it's the coolest thing that's ever happened. Whatever. While you're writing your 5, let's start with John. I'm going to go around the room. Say one. Just one.
Well, I wrote down be a morning person.
Serious? Cool.
Because I liked it.
Yeah.
So I wrote it down.
Cool.
Boat.
Boat. What kind of boat? A yacht? A dinghy? What are you talking about here?
Pontoon.
Pontoon boat. There we go.
Pay off my parents' house.
Nice.
House?
House.
I want to visit all the state parks in the United States.
Oh.
Does anyone know how many there are?
No, I don't know how many there is.
How many
but
what?
in my
Can someone Siri or Google how many state parks there are in the United States?
There's a lot.
Huh?
John.
Just for Cindy to say, so she knows what she's up against here. I think it's awesome.
Sure you want to know?
Yeah.
10,234.
Get cracking, girl.
Get
Get on it.
One park at a time.
One at a time.
Live that retirement life.
Love it.
Maybe go to national parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, national.
I'd like to be able to leave little nest eggs for my children.
Nice.
SpaceX flight in the upper atmosphere.
Sweet.
I want to be able to do a yearly trip with my sister.
I would like to feel chosen and wanted and valued.
I would like to remain happy throughout my entire life.
Nice.
I'm going greedy. I want to go to Italy.
You won't regret it.
I know.
with my Virginia family.
Nice.
I'd like to be able to give freely without having to worry about my own financial.
Love it.
I put I want to remarry my wife.
She's a sweetheart.
That's lovely.
I'd like to be more independent and confident in myself.
I'd like to see the Northern Lights.
She wants to see the Northern Lights. Who's seen the Northern Lights?
No, I want to. That only people are working.
It used to be on my list too, and it's freaking awesome.
Just talking about that last night.
That's cool.
I want to quit my job.
Little thing, just a little thing.
Couldn't hear you.
She wants to quit her
I
job.
want to quit my job.
Good today.
Do you know what you want to do?
I have to sell a couple houses first.
Do you know what you want to do?
Yeah, I just got my real estate license. So once I start getting that moving, then I'll stop doing the position I'm currently doing. So it's a
Got
process.
it. Congratulations.
I want a second child.
A second child. Thanks for sharing, everybody. And that's what this is all about. So in Mastery, it's one of the things we talk about every week while we're going through the process. Okay? That's just a start. So let's kick it up a notch, right? Let's see if you remember. The next step, and this is a big one, let's see what you guys remember from September. Different era. Nothing?
Kovitz.
Does this look familiar to anybody?
Yes.
What is it?
It's the wheel with the various parts of your life and how you grade how happy you are with it.
Yes, it's a cheese wheel.
These are the life wheels, personally and professionally. or personal and work, however you say them. These are the life wheels. There are 10 areas on the life wheels. So what's next in the mastery process is every participant goes through each area, and let's just say this is social. And they go through a series of 4 exercises having to do with their social world. There is an assessment. It's 2 pages long. It's full of questions. When was the last time you saw your best friend? How many friends do you have? See on a regular basis. Things like this, about social stuff. Then there is what past achievements or strengths do you have relative to your social life? Are you one of those people like Heather that goes around in a crowd and knows everybody? You know, that's a strength of hers. That's a social strength of hers. So you list all your strengths, all the things you do really well in terms of your social world. Then you write where you stand now. Where are you? Well, let's see, it's hard. I haven't seen my best friend in 5 years. I haven't been to a social gathering in 6 months. I need to be more social. Whatever it is, you write a little story to yourself. And then it ends with goal categories. So in each of those areas, you wind up with goal categories. So what's a goal category? A goal category can be very broad. So can anyone think of a goal category relative to your social world? Anybody? I'll name one. Go to more parties. Okay? It's what you want. You've assessed yourself. You know where you're now. You know where you want to go. So now what are you going to do about it? What are the things you want to address relative to your social life? Can anyone think of one that they might have?
Be more trustworthy.
Be more trustworthy. Awesome. Anyone else think of something? I know it's, interesting times now. Think of this time or, when we're past this time. What do you want to do? Are you cool? If you're a hermit or a loner, is that cool by you? If it is, great. No one says you have to have this big social life. This is about you. There's no judgments in any of this, by the way. Going through mastery, there's no judgment. This is you determining you. You determine the ultimate you. What does the ultimate you look like in terms of your social life? Can anyone think of anything?
Well, I know. So, an example, like before I moved into my own house, everybody knows I'm a social butterfly. So one of the goals that I had for myself was when I moved into my house to be more okay with being by myself and enjoying my own time. And now I love being alone.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, all this comes from thinking about where you are and where you want to go. And remember, we're doing this in 10 different areas. How about your physical self? I'd ask questions like, when was your last physical? Things like that. Things like, do you work out? So there's a whole list of questions that helps you focus on what's right for you. No one says you have to work out. But if it's something missing in your life, what does that work out? So that's the goal category, work out. This doesn't have to be specific yet. Remember, mastery is a process. It's a process of you knowing you better, finding your real strengths, and learning where you want to use them. That's what this is about. If you think it happens in a week, forget about it. This process is 9 weeks as a group and another 5 weeks past that. That's 14 weeks. So we usually start right after Labor Day and we end by Thanksgiving. And I can guarantee you by Thanksgiving, you will think differently and you'll know what you want and you'll have a plan for getting there. Questions about rolling through these and coming up with goal categories. Anything.
How did you pick the 10 categories?
Great question. They were in the process as I found it. What I encourage everyone to do is, if a category doesn't make sense to you, eliminate it and create your own. No one says these are the be-all to end-all. So I help with that too. It's rare, because this is pretty it's all encompassing. It really is. Did you have one in mind?
No, it's just one of the coaching program contractors said there's 4 main areas, you know, so just wondering.
Yeah, how you got from 4 to...
Specific versus how broad.
Yeah. Again, having been brought up in this stuff, I have an MBA in human resources. I've been working in this world for a long, long time. I've actually been using this process even before I knew there was a process. But once I found it, I found a couple things. One, that I am really, really good at facilitating this and helping someone use it. That's one of my skills. It's probably the best skill I have. So even people that don't want to do it or have trouble with it, I'm really good at helping people find their way through this forest. So that's what I love doing. Because it's not easy. This is difficult. If it was easy, everyone would do it. How many total LCD grads are there? 200 and what?
450.
Well, after this class, we'll have like 450.
450,
Yeah.
and a little less than 10% have gone on to mastery. Because there's a few more mastery people that I work with outside of mastery. It's probably another 20. But let's say 10%. So there's only 2 or 3 of you here that'll have the cojones to do this.